and would think everything is going perfectly. This is all very satisfying. Soon you will be able to return to the great Zeno-sama. You just have to wait. I've longed for this moment for millions of years. You'll finally happen. Everyone will tremble with the mere fact of your arrival. I've had to endure seeing really pathetic and awake beings profaning over you. Those who disrespect you must die, great Soma. You're not a legend, as everyone thinks. Meanwhile, in the place of Zeno-sama, the guards had arrived at that place, and Zeno-sama and Daishinkan were totally confident and sure that they had already killed the Saiyan. So Zeno-sama would ask them if it had cost them to kill him. They would lie to him, saying that it was something strong, but it did not cost them so much work to kill him. This is what Mikushin would order these guards to say. Perfect, we were able to get rid of them, but did not get my hands dirty. Daisy, who was on the spot, would think, strange, how could they have killed him so easily? I remember that he was very strong. I don't understand it. Something's wrong here. But I was with that Saiyan, I realized the immense power he had. This is not just any Tai. Daishinkan would notice an expression of displeasure on the angel Daisy's face, and asked her, "What's the matter, Daisy? What do you have that look on your face?" Margarita at that moment would begin to tell Zeno-sama and Daishinkan that something was not right. But that moment, without warning, the Guardians would attack Zeno-sama and Daishinkan from behind, with a great attack that created a great shockwave. That destructive attack had impacted with them, leaving Zeno-sama and Daishinkan stunned by this. Zeno-sama would have been affected by this attack, as he was totally unprepared and confident at that moment. Daishinkan was only scratched by this attack, as he always kept his resistance. He would heal Zeno-sama at that moment, and he would say, "But how did they just attack us for no reason? I can't understand it. Wait, they lied to us. I understand everything. It's impossible. Someone must have controlled them, but the only one who has the ability to do something like that is my sister. No, it can't be her. We sealed her. Could she be the woman who Margarita said was next to that saint? I'll believe it, damn it. So who's doing this to you useless people? Tell me before I kill you. We don't care about that, you damn midget. You'll die!" At that moment, the Guardians would do the most powerful technique, and they'd perform it against Zeno-sama. But they would be stopped by Daishinkan. "I order you to stop, or I'll kill you!" They continued to attack, but by this time, they had run out of Nikushin's spell, and it was too late. Daishinkan would wipe them out of existence. If guys like you could manipulate them so easily, you don't deserve to live. You're pathetic. Damn sister. Hope this isn't about you. On the other hand, Mikushin had seen that the Guardians had already done their job, and this one would say to Goku, "It's time, Sam." "I see, so it's finally here." "I see, so it's finally time." At that instant, they would head to where Daishinkan and Zeno-sama were. Daishinkan was sensing two great powers, which were approaching that place. What the hell? Who owns those two great powers approaching? "They're already here, father. I knew they'd come." It was them who did all this to make them angry. Goku and Nikushin would appear in front of them, leaving them totally speechless. So it was true. But how could it be possible? How did you escape from the seal? I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was just a crazy thought, but it's real. That's right, brother. I was able to escape from that horrible place. You detestable Zeno-sama. You sent your guards to assassinate me. What a coward you are. You know how long I've waited to see your face, the one who mercilessly destroyed everything I loved. And you should have been eliminated along with your universe. It was your Saiyan destiny, but for some reason, you're able to survive, and now you're causing a lot of trouble. Shut up, you bastard! You seem to have changed, but that hasn't changed that you're the same stupid being you always were. Meanwhile, Nikushin would say to the Saiyan, "Son Goku, it's time for you to show your power. For this, I decided to free you from that dimension. You must eliminate them." Don't make me laugh, sister. Are you really going to use that Saiyan to fight me? How disappointing. A weak and pathetic mortal like him won't be able to fight me. Goku at that moment, using his power, would throw himself against Daishinkan, and they would have a great battle, which would shake the whole place. The Saiyan's able to fight on par with me. It's going on. Goku would give Daishinkan a big kick, causing Daishinkan to hit the ground. He saw Goku and would say, "I admit, you surprised me. You're so much strong, but not Saiyan enough." Daishinkan would increase his power in a colossal wing, making this spelt throughout the multiverse. "What is this great power? I've never seen my brother give off so much. Impressive." "It's enough, Saiyan. I won't waste my time with a scumbag like you. I'll kill you quick. Try it, you damn priest." Daishinkan in moments had appeared in front of Goku, and he would do the supreme technique of the angels. This would lock him inside an eternal seal, which made him trapped in a place called the Dimension of Despair. This could only be done by Daishinkan, since it was a technique created by him. Can't be. You locked him in that horrible dimension. If he had been locked in that place, he would never have escaped. No one who's been locked in that place has ever escaped. What will happen now? Saiyan, don't disappoint me. What a bummer. I had to seal it. I told you it was pathetic. This time I'll kill you, sister. I'll show you no mercy. Don't be stupid, Daishinkan. That's Saiyan. You couldn't beat him that easily. I'm sure of that. Goku inside that place thought, the atmosphere in this place is so heavy. How unbearable. Must get out of this place quickly. Goku would try to use his power to escape, but it was impossible. I see. I'll have to use all my power to get out of this place. Not even in the time room had I used so much power. Goku at that moment would give off an enormous power. He had reached his most powerful transformation. Goku would increase his power so much that the very balance of the dimension would be broken, causing him to leave the dimension of despair. How? It's impossible. No one's ever been able to break free from that place. Daishinkan, you provoked it. And I think I'd have to use my absolute power to have to face you. You've sentenced your death. The hell? How did he get out of that place? No one's ever done it before. That dimension was supposed to seal him for eternity. Sealed thousands of very powerful warriors, but no one's been able to escape from it. How did he do it? I told you, brother. Did you think that it would end like that? Don't be pathetic. That will end your life, and you'll become just a memory in my mind. Like that stupid dwarf will also be eradicated. At that moment, Zeno-sama, with a very serious expression, would say to Goku, I've had enough of you, Saiyan. You caused me enough trouble. You didn't want to accept your own destiny, but you must understand, if destiny didn't end your life, then I will. Who do you think you are to come and challenge us, you bastard? At that moment, Zeno-sama raises his hand, and it would say to him, Disappear. He had performed a supreme technique against the Saiyan, but he saw with his own eyes that this infallible technique had not worked against the Saiyan, leaving Zeno-sama completely stunned by this. A great shiver ran through his body. He'd be frozen because he couldn't mentalize in his head that someone could have survived that technique, especially a Saiyan. Daishinkan himself was speechless to see this, because even he couldn't have survived that of Zeno-sama trying to eliminate him. Did you really think you could finish me off with that simple technique? What an idiot you are. I've waited for this moment for a long time, in which I could take revenge for what they did. For that reason, I trained for millennia, just to see their suffering faces, knowing that their lives depend on me and my decisions, just as they felt those universes that you mercilessly eliminated. You pay the same coin. Shut up, Saiyan. Just because you're the only one to survive that technique doesn't mean you're superior to us. I'll finish you off immediately with my own hands. At that moment, Daishinkan, using all his powers, would appear from behind the Saiyan's back, and this would give him a strong blow, which was stopped by the Saiyan with one of his hands. Understand, you Cam priest. You're no match for me anymore. Daishinkan would continue to strike at the Saiyan with devastating speed, but still Goku parried each of his blows with ease. Too bad you end up like this, brother, but you and that stupid midget deserve it. Goku at that moment would give Daishinkan a big punch that sent him crashing to the ground. This can't be happening. I'm being downgraded to a Saiyan. Impossible. This can't be real. This can't be real. Believe me, it is, priest. As real as your subsequent death. Kill them already, Goku. Make it quick. And cause the mess in the space and time universes because of their fight. Goku at that moment would do one of his techniques, which was the Shiram. This technique was created by Goku himself, and he had perfected it completely in the time room. Didn't think I'd have to use the Shiram, but it's perfect for ending yours and Zeno-sama's existence right now. This technique turns his enemy into dust immediately, causing it to consume his every particle, and causing it to disappear from existence itself by eliminating their soul as well. Goku would charge the Shiram to end Daishinkan's life, but suddenly everyone felt a very overwhelming power somewhere in the universe. But what's wrong? Where does this great power come from? It's huge! On the other hand, the unknown subject said, At last, the great time has come, Silma. It has appeared before my eyes again, and I never thought this would happen. It did everything you ordered me to do, manipulated everything at my whim since before that such power tournament. Thanks to that happened exactly what I wanted and expected, but I don't care if that price was to wait so many thousands and thousands of years. I was able to get him out of that place, a dimension that kept him locked up for so long. The moment the same increased this power, he unbalanced all space and time in between the dimensions, causing time gaps to open up as I planned from the beginning.
Well done, Cain. You did perfect. I knew you wouldn't let me down, but now that I'm back, I must regain the power that I once had. Mr. Soma, all the universes are gone except one. There are not enough lives needed for you to regain your great power. I see. That idiot destroyed them all, so I chew on myself, and his life will be more than enough to regain my power. On the other hand, Mikushin had realized what Goku and Daishinkan had caused, leaving her stunned to see what she had caused. She would feel the power, and immediately realize who it was. This made her face turn pale. Is it Soma? No, it can't be. It can't be him. This can't be happening. Why do you have that face, Mikushin? What's wrong? It's your fault, Saiyan. You should have finished them off quickly. But now it's too late. He's appeared again, the most feared being of all. Many thought it was just a legend, but he's real. Wait, but what guy are you talking about? It's called Soma. The only thing that it was known is that the past Daishinkan with the helpless Zeno-sama, and all the deities united their power to be able to seal this being. But even so, many of these deities lost their lives and they couldn't stand it anymore. This one was above all, but because of his evil plans, he had to be locked up. I think we forgot a little detail, and I'm starting to believe that she was the one who planned all this from the beginning. She may have manipulated everything. Even before the Tournament of Power, all the decisions that have led us here could have been influenced by her. That woman is Cain, and in her time she did everything to please Soma. That's why now, I have no doubt that it was her. She has the power to alter people's thoughts. Then I did it. That's why thousands of years ago I had thought of going to train in that time room, just before the Tournament of Power started. The little manipulation of my head was the root of it all. That woman's the real culprit of all this. If she hadn't done it, I would have fought in the Tournament of Power and possibly won, and none of this would have happened. I see, so everything went just the way she wanted it to, until she took you to fight with Daishinkan and caused that great impact on all dimensions. I'm surprised she's been doing this all these thousands of years. Now we're lost. She shouldn't have neglected that woman. Everyone would be speechless to know that many of her actions were influenced by this guy named Cain. And that's why he released the terrifying Soma. On the other hand, the great Soma would say, "It's time to take back all that I have lost. I took back everything that was once mine. With my great power, I can rebuild these eliminated universes in my own way, and everything will be ruled by my thoughts. So it shall be, my great Soma. It makes me very happy to see you back. But I must go and eliminate that useless Daishinkan, and everyone with him. They've done their job. They're just a nuisance." Soma had realized that he no longer needed those who freed him, because they were no longer of any use. Referring to Goku and Daishinkan, this one wanted to kill the one who mainly sealed them for millions of years. This one wanted to kill Daishinkan with his own hands, and all those who had some kind of relationship with him. This included Goku and Mikushin, so at this moment Soma and Cain would go to where Goku and the others were. He would have arrived in moments thanks to his great power. But who's this huge key approaching? His power is immeasurable. Isn't it? At that moment, a guy with a great dark aura would appear in front of them, telling them, "So here you are. I must thank you for what you did. You were a great help. Thanks to you, I was able to escape from that damn seal." Impossible! The Nikushin wasn't lying in his premonition. Indeed, Saiyan, the one you see in front of you is the great Soma. At that very moment, Nikushin, by an act of reflex, would kneel before his presence. "But what are you doing? Why are you doing this in front of that guy? Aren't you humiliating yourself?" "Sorry, it's just that whenever I saw him in my past, my action was always to kneel before him, because he was the one who was above almost everything, to the point that Daishinkan and all the other deities had to unite all their power to seal him, since they didn't even have the necessary power to kill him." "You surprise me, Mikushin. You still have that great habit. I'm pleased you still understand who's on top of everything. For that reason, I shall not end your life, but I will end the lives of these idiots. They didn't even have the audacity to prostrate themselves. How disrespectful. Why would I kneel before someone like you? No one could be that would commit an action like that so cowardly. You want to fight, then do it. Enough at the games." At that moment, Cain would start laughing like a mad woman. "You seriously think you have any kind of chance against him? Don't be stupid. Now that he was released, everyone must obey him, and the one who opposes will die." "Damn you, shut your mouth. It's your Cain, the damned one who manipulated my entire environment at this disgusting whim. You're disgusting." "That's right, mortal. As soon as I saw you, I knew you had great potential to face that priest. Luckily, I'm an entity endowed with a lot of patience, and that's how I controlled everything in these thousands of years. In the end, you ended up doing what you said so much to oppose. Too bad the culprit of all this is yourself. You don't know how much fun it was for me to see that everything was going as I had wanted. It was very satisfying. I have to admit that doing it was not so difficult for me, mostly because you weren't very predictable. I knew everything that you and the people around you would do. I was several steps ahead. Goku had noticed that she was only trying to make fun of them. A great anger entered Goku's body when he found out that none of what happened was an act and consequence of his own actions. He would have preferred to be guilty of all this, but knowing that a person was the one who used him as a toy filled him with anger. Nikon would see the Saiyan who was giving off great power due to the anger he felt inside, and this one would say to him, "Goku, you must calm down. If he continues, you won't be able to take it. Cain, get rid of that guy before he becomes a problem for you, and I'll take care of the priest." He would see that Daishinkan was already wounded, and he'd say, "It would be a pity to end your life this way, priest." At that moment, Soma would make Daishinkan recover completely, and this one with a smile would say, "Now that you're complete, I will enjoy killing you after what you did to me. I'll use your head as a trophy. Even your sister hates you. You're detestable. Once I take your life and that damned dwarf shall become the king of everything, and I will be the ultimate exponent of everything. I'll rebuild all these universes that erased and make them as they really should be. Those detestable beings that dare to go against the rules imposed by me will be tortured and killed so that the others understand how they should behave. And that's how I make the perfect place. Far from the useless and pathetic themes such as humans, those who hurt each other, kill each other, betray each other, it's disgusting. And make sure that no race was equal or similar to them. What the hell are you saying, you bastard? You're sick! I won't let you do that. In any case, I'd have to be the king of everything. I don't care who you are. Cain, I told you to take care of this idiot. He's just annoying me. I have to kill Daishinkan. This one would notice that Cain didn't respond, but Goku would tell him, I already took care of her. Did you think that someone like her could kill me? Don't be an idiot. The hell? How did he beat Cain? He would turn around and realize that Cain was on the ground with several wounds, leaving him surprised, since he knew the great power that Cain possessed. Open flashback. Soma had given the order to Cain to end the Saiyan's life, while the latter was settling scores with Daishinkan. At that moment, Cain would say to Goku, I will kill you! I'll rip out every part of your body. You don't know how I'll enjoy it. I haven't fought for millennia, but the time has finally come. If that's what you think, you can't be further from reality. You're no match for me. You had to realize since you've been watching me and manipulating me all this time, but thanks to that same realization, I begin a being with immeasurable power. You make me laugh, Saiyan. At that moment, Cain would try to hit Goku with his divine chains, which would break the bones of any individual impacted by these. But in spite of this, Goku would say, I told you, you'd better not follow the order to kill me. But you did. Goku at that moment would break the divine chains that this guy possessed with a simple movement. But what's wrong? I couldn't even see his movements. What's going on? I don't understand. How is he moving at that speed? Goku in moments had delivered more than 100,000 blows at the king, which had made her fall to the ground. Sacred Seiya! The same would say, making her unable to move at all. I won't tell you just so you can see how I killed this person you tried so hard to free. That's how you could tell that idiot wasn't even a match for me. I'll kill Daishinkan myself after I kill you. And that stupid midget, too. Zeno-sama realized at that moment that he was no match for anyone. So in an act of cowardice, he tried to run away. But Goku would perform his sacred seal on him as well. Goku, I warned you, please. You're not capable of facing him. Understand that he's the great Soma. Nikon, you look ridiculous and stupid kneeling before this bastard who thinks to create a new multiverse to his thoughts, which go against everything you and I think. You must understand, you must not humiliate yourself like this. Nikon would think about what Goku had told him, and after a while, he realized what he was doing. He's right. I can't allow this. He's sick. His father Salama should have eliminated him while he could. He's pathetic. The only thing he supported my brother in is what he did against him in the past. But Sam has opened my eyes. The hell am I doing? Hashem Nikon. I was really thinking of sparing your life, but I see you let that guy's words rule you. Shut up, you bastard! I don't care how powerful you are. That Saiyan and I will put an end to your miserable existence. At that moment, Nikon began to release an enormous power that had never been seen before. His eyes would turn red. I see, so he'll use his supreme power. He'll fight with all his power. And I'm terrified of him. I'm so not that Saiyan's right. Why should I show respect to someone who doesn't deserve it? It's absurd. I don't care how powerful you are. If I have to die, then I will die. But I won't allow you to do anything that goes against my wishes. How foolish you are, Nikon. You're already secured your life. You're just sentenced yourself. How stupid. You'll have to die along with that Saiyan and that priest. That's something I'm willing to pay for. What you're trying to do with the universes seems absurd to me. Stop talking then. Show me why you say so much. Nikon would give off a great aura that made the whole place shudder, felt throughout the multiverse. The angel Margarita, who was on the site, was stunned by this. It's impressive. It's the first time in my entire life that I've seen Nikon give off that power. It's overwhelming. In the end, if things go wrong, we'll have to be on his side. We'll have to work together to defeat him. What's going on? One of those cowards try anything against him. How pathetic. Feel sorry for them. At that moment, Miko-shin would be ready to attack it, and so would do it without hesitation. This would take someone by surprise, who never thought that this would happen. She would manage to give many blows to Soma, who could not see where they came from. One of these blows would make her fall, but nevertheless, he would tell her, "So that's all you have? Thought you could give more. Shut the fuck up, you fucker!" At that moment, Nikon would launch several attacks of destruction at Soma, and each of these powerful attacks impacted with this one, creating a big explosion in the place. "What's wrong, Soma? You weren't as powerful as they said. I took that stupid smile off your face." From the debris of the explosion, Soma would come out with some injuries, and Cain would say, "No, Soma, it can't be. Had it be do that to you, it's impossible. You're the most powerful of all. Please don't die. You know how much it cost me to bring you back. How come that woman is doing this to you? Have to be something. I can't better tell you." Goku would see Cain's intentions, and Cain would tell him, "You'll do absolutely nothing. With the seal I put on you, you won't be able to move even a little bit. It's better that you see how they kill him, and that all the absurd things you did were useless. After he dies, you'll go with him too. For the only reason you're still alive is because I want you to see how that stupid Soma disappears before your eyes." Kept saying, "Just come. That won't happen." On Nikoshin's part, this one was extremely angry, so she was giving off a terrifying power that was crushing Soma. So when I'd come out of the rubble, and Nikoshin would say, "Interesting, you're still alive. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. After all, you're Soma." It was to be expected, although another opponent wouldn't have been able to survive all those attacks I gave you. Zalama doesn't want to get rid of his failure of a creation, then I'll do it myself on my own. You can't believe I deigned to kneel before such a pathetic being like you. You don't have to worry about that, Miko-shin. We all make mistakes. Just finish him off. The Shinkan would be extremely dumbfounded because his sister was humiliating him, leaving him perplexed. At what point did she become so powerful? That power abysmally surpasses the power she had before. I must escape from this place. Whoever wins will end up killing me. I'm only risking my life. I should use this as an opportunity to escape. While Evelyn was distracted with another major problem at that moment, Daishinkan and Zeno-sama cowardly disappeared from that place. Goku would stop feeling the power of both of them and realize they had escaped. Who would have thought? Those idiots running away. Doesn't really matter. Their death is inevitable. When I find them, I'll kill them with my own hands. But first, they have to take care of that bastard Soma. Nikoshin had decided to do some of his most powerful attacks. These were capable of destroying entire universes, and this one he had only used once in his life, and it had been many millennia ago. This technique was called Burning Sun. It was flying over Soma, and he was standing on the ground with wounds. Mikushin was creating his Burning Sun technique, and his power was becoming more and more, creating a power similar to a sun, the size of a planet. Are you really planning to throw that here? Are you planning to destroy the universes? That wouldn't make any sense. Goku, I know what you're thinking, but it's the price to pay. A simple attack won't kill that guy. He regenerates every part of his body, and that's why not a single trace of him should remain. Don't worry, only half of one of the universes will disappear. If he continues to live, he'll take over an entire multiverse. Losing a few million lives is nothing in comparison. Oh, it Jappy. You'll kill him with that attack. This is for everything that you came to cause. Unfortunately, you crossed me. For the moment millions of years ago, how much were you created by Zalama? I felt a huge fear towards you. Every time I was around, I had to follow your orders, and I was always afraid of not meeting your expectations. Guess you could kill me simply because of that. Although inside, I always felt a great resentment towards you. Besides, you killed many people of whom I had a great appreciation for the same reason of not fulfilling your expectations. You are a greedy being, and you were the worst massive mistake in history. But now I finally have the chance, and I'll end this once and for all. What you've caused millions of years ago will never happen again. I'd simply put an order. You got to follow orders from someone who really deserved it, someone with immeasurable power. Simply those who opposed or did not contribute in the right way had to be exterminated. And they wanted to create a supreme order in which all universes would follow my rules, so that they would be different. Those disgusting beings like humans, who only destroy themselves, had to disappear. But the way you did it was horrible. You have no heart at all. Miserable, because two innocent beings who opposed your ideals. Just for that reason, you're detestable. Do you not understand? He just wanted to change things. His ever saw his creation had been a disaster. Everything was chaos. Soma just wanted to change that. He wanted to be a different place, where there was no chaos, even if that would lead him to end the lives of almost half of existence. Migoshin, finish him off quickly. He's getting on my nerves. Migoshin at that moment would throw the technique of the burning sun, and it would say, "Die." This immense destructive power had impacted with Soma, and this had created a large shockwave, almost completely destroying one of the universes. It's over. It was finally eliminated. It was worth it, even though it almost destroyed his universe. Well, it's your turn, Cain. I'll end your suffering if seeing that bastard die. Don't worry, this'll be quick. Goku would do one of his most powerful techniques to exterminate Cain, but suddenly behind his back he'd hear a voice saying, "That was pretty good. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. I think it's time to play a little."